you're already drained, then going to a party which is out of your comfort zone and meeting new people is going to be an anxiety trigger. And as you get into conversation, don't be afraid to share something that you like. And maybe you want a break. Go for it. Don't beat yourself up and then go back in when you're ready or not. Welcome to the She Speaks to Inspire podcast. I'm your host, Julia Kraft, your authentic expression mentor and public speaking coach. She Speaks to Inspire is an empowering public speaking podcast for women with public speaking fear. Unlike other podcasts on public speaking, She Speaks to Inspire not only gives you tips to be a confident communicator under pressure, but also helps you regulate your nervous system for less anxiety, learn lifestyle practices to reduce burnout and overwhelm, and reconnect with your feminine leadership presence for more authenticity and comfort in your skin. I believe it's the quiet ones, especially the quiet women, who have the most important ideas. I believe the world really does need your voice. So let's dive in. Welcome back to the She Speaks to Inspire podcast. I'm your host, Julia Kraft. We're digging into social anxiety today. I think this is really timely for the holidays if you're listening to this when it's published. But it's also something that I hear from clients all the time, that not only are they experiencing performance anxiety in moments of presentations, but also a subtle or extreme version of social anxiety at parties, with friends, and it affects their ability to feel confident and trust themselves. Perhaps you felt awkward when you're networking, when you're meeting somebody new. Perhaps you're the one that avoids reaching out and initiating that conversation. You've blanked out in the past. Get exhausted by those moments in the first place. Don't know what to say. It's all overwhelming. One of your strategies might be to hug the walls, nurse your drink. First of all, I'll say that if this is your experience, you're probably more introverted than extroverted. You can head over to speaktoinspire.com/quiz to do a quiz to learn about how introverted or extroverted you are. And if this is the case, then social situations are going to be naturally out of your comfort zone. Let's just know that. Your comfort zone is going to be one-on-one conversations or a small intimate group, like 3 or 4 people that you know well. That's comfortable. Even those interactions will be draining to you. Maybe not as draining as those parties, but where do you get your energy? You get your energy from being alone, being in your comfort zone, which might be your home or it could be your work, through doing something that is a quiet, often creative activity. That could be video games, or for me, it's cooking, cuddling and watching a show with my cats. Where do you get your energy? And what drains your energy? Well, if you're already drained, then going to a party which is out of your comfort zone and meeting new people is going to be an anxiety trigger. Here are some suggestions for that holiday party, that networking event that you end up at. Walking into that room where you don't know people, what can you do to manage your social anxiety and to be a more effective communicator? And this is from somebody that worked from home. You know, I'm not necessarily a super social person, and I know this about myself, so I've navigated it. First of all, when you enter a space, immediately find comfort for yourself. A great thing in social situations is to get a drink. I'm not talking about alcohol, but it could be a glass of wine or something. But it could also be a cup of tea. It could be a glass of water. You know, get something for your body. So it'll feel nice to drink it. I wouldn't recommend just getting blasted drunk, but you know, sometimes a glass of wine is a nice thing. And find a cozy spot for yourself within this new environment. That could be the corner of the couch with this nice comfy pillow behind you. It could be an armchair that's all your own that you cozy into and even put a blanket on top of you. It could be a corner of the countertop or leaning on the side of the table. Allow yourself to find some immediate comfort in this new environment. It's probably not your home. Another suggestion going into social situations is to have someone with you that you know. It doesn't need to be your best friend or your husband or something, but it could just be somebody that you know from work. You could even go as far as saying to this person, hey, I sometimes have trouble meeting new people. Could you introduce me to a few people? Make a huge difference. When you are talking to somebody new, the first thing to do is find commonality. Look for connections between you and that person. That's why a great question is, well, how do you know the host? You might ask questions about where they're from or where they live. Again, looking for commonality and connections. But also respond to what's right in front of you. Let's not make this complicated. Just respond to what's in front of you. If you're drinking a glass of the homemade cider, ask if they like it. Ask if they made it from scratch or if they bought it from the store. What store do they like to go to? You just start with what's in front of you. If you notice they're wearing a really interesting sweater, or you love their necklace, you like their hair, you notice something about them, ask them about it. Comment about it. Notice something about the room that you're in, the decor, the objects around you. Maybe avoid commenting too much on the people around you, unless you think that would go over well. And as you get into conversation, don't be afraid to share something that you like, something you're passionate about that's important to you, or about yourself proactively without having anybody ask about it. Like, I love riding horses. I'm really into gluten-free baking. I've been doing this new thing for decor that I've been making everything myself instead of buying stuff from the store. And it's really a fun thing. Have you ever tried that? Okay, these are my examples, the things that I'm into right now. But what are your things? Just start sharing them and see where the conversation goes. And to be honest, it might go somewhere, it might not go somewhere. There might be no commonality between you about the things that you're passionate about. And that's okay. You might move on to another conversation at a certain point. Introverts also need to know when to let conversations go because we want to stay with one person and just lock in, right? So we sort of need to know when to let conversations go and be open to the next person or the next group. All the while you're doing these things, you can be noticing how you feel in your body, taking deeper breaths, slowing yourself down, again, attending to your comfort. So making sure that you have what you need. Maybe you need to go to the bathroom. Go. Maybe you want another glass of something. Go for it. Have a snack. Maybe you want to change chairs and maybe you want a break. Go for it. Go outside, take a break. Don't beat yourself up and then go back in when you're ready or not. When you're done, you're done. When an introvert is cooked socially, we don't want you to get burnt. Leave on a high note. And it might be a short party for you, and that's okay. My husband knows that when I say I need some introverted time, that I'm just going to go take it and that there's nothing wrong with that, right? Trust your body with that. I hope this helps you to navigate holiday parties, any parties, networking events, anything where you have the opportunity to be visible, to be seen for the lovely, caring, smart woman that you are. And that leads to lots of opportunities for you. Go out there, socialize. The world needs your voice. Thanks for listening. This has been She Speaks to Inspire with Julia Kraft, your authentic expression mentor and public speaking coach. I'm so glad you joined me. And I hope you got so much out of this episode. If you want to learn more about Speak to Inspire training programs and get inspired, head over to speaktoinspire.com or follow us on Instagram at She Speaks to Inspire. Never forget, the world needs your voice, and it's time for you to speak to inspire. See you in the next episode.